Welcome to day 218 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today's topic is letting go strategies. Now, this is a topic that I have personally had a lot of experience with, and I've used a lot. I've used a lot of different, and I've tried a lot of different ways to let go of things. Why? Because like so many human beings, I tend to hang on to experiences or things people have said for far, far too long. I can think of some times where when I got fired from the first job I got fired from. Guess what? Yes, I have been fired more than once. My ideas and my philosophies didn't always mesh with corporate beliefs and philosophies, and sometimes that meant when it was time for layoffs, I was one of the first ones to go. So I remember, actually, I don't think it was the first time I got fired. It was actually the first time I got fired didn't bother me at all. The second time I got fired and let go bothered me for literally for years, and that's when I started to explore. And when you don't let go of something from the past, usually an experience, which I think the experience was maybe a total of 10 minutes, and I relived it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. We tend to do that as humans, and when we do that, guess what? The original 10-minute experience, we blow it up and we make it way bigger and a way bigger deal than it ever has to be. And that negatively impacts our confidence. At least it undermined my confidence for, oh my gosh, about a year and a half before I shook myself off and said, what the heck? That was a 10-minute thing. Thank you, Tony Robbins, for some of your letting go strategies and NLP things that I learned from you and from other teachers and people I explored and looked for solutions for. And that's when I actually, when would that have been? Yikes, the early 90s, early 1990s. That's when I learned that I needed to have an arsenal of tools in my toolbox, which I now call strategies, to deal with things that I was letting impact me for way longer than they should have. And I call them letting go strategies. I didn't term the name. I don't know who named it, but to me, it's a very easy reminder. Now I can just say let go, and I can take a deep breath and just let go of the thing that I'm thinking about. If your mind ever gets in that cycle of monkey mind where you're just going over and over and over something again, I can either say cancel, stop, let it go, or something like that to get my mind to shift gears and think about something else. So over the years, I've had to let go of a lot of things. Like anybody else, life happens. Something's good in our opinion at the time, something's bad in our opinion at the time. And usually the bad ones affect us more negatively than the good ones. Funny how that works. So I've gotten a lot of practice at this. And I remember I was working on beliefs and emotions. Over the course of my life, I've had periods of, up until my sudden cardiac arrest, I would have periods of looking into personal development and continuous learning and personal growth. But for the most part, it was sporadic. But I remember one time I was running an Italian food manufacturing business, my Italian food manufacturing business. It was one of the years I was focusing on that. And this false belief, I was learning about limiting and false beliefs, and the not good enough, don't deserve, what we want, kept popping up in my mind. And I'm like, where the heck did this come from? I don't believe this. This isn't true for any of us, although it is probably one of the most common beliefs of human beings. The I'm not good enough, I don't deserve. But where does it come from? I think it comes from a lot of different places, and I've learned about letting go. Doesn't matter where something came from or why it's stuck in our psyche or our head. We just need to get rid of it so that we can move on and move forward and increase our confidence, get the things that we want and totally deserve in our life. So one day, I remember one day everybody was off at I called it the shop. I called my Italian food business the shop, which was kind of a misnomer, but that's what I called it because we made handmade Italian food there. And one day everybody was off. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but I decided I was going to make some little short videos to remind myself and to reinforce my learning about different ways we could let something go. So I got a dry erase marker and I wrote on a mirror, not good enough. And then I washed it off. I actually wrote, I wrote not good enough, don't deserve on Post-it notes and paper, and I put them in a bucket and I burned them, literally burned them up on fire in back of the shop underneath the deck, which I'm sure I was probably not supposed to do, but I did it anyway. I walked out down by the river and I wrote it in the sand and let the water wash away the words not good enough. But I did a bunch of different things, like 7 or 8 different things that day. I think I wrote it on marker on toilet paper and flushed it down the toilet. Just little things that were fun. They actually made me laugh, and they took the negative energy around a limiting belief, like not good enough, or feeling that I didn't deserve something good in my life, and washed it away. Now, does that pop up every once in a while still for me? Absolutely, of course it does. People can be mean to us. People can say rude and inappropriate things, which I'm learning the older I get. Other people's behavior, the things they say and do, are more about them than they are about me or you. And if we remember that, a lot of the sting that people try to put in their actions and their words, it doesn't matter. It's just reflection a lot of the time. And sometimes you can just see right through it and you're like, okay, well, that was kind of pathetic. So today, what are we going to do? We are going to look at and think about different letting go strategies. I think we've got Nellie's story and guide to the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. I didn't even take any notes today because this is an area where I've got a little bit of experience, which are most of the areas I talk about, or I wouldn't talk about them. And I'll tell you, hey, I don't know what I'm talking about this. This is new to me too. Let's figure it out together. So letting go strategies, what we're going to do today as our action item is pick one thing that you think is negatively impacting your level of confidence right now. It might be, it could be anything, right? For you, it's probably totally different than for me. Maybe it's your living environment. Maybe it's your job situation. Maybe it's your relationship. Whatever it is, if it's having a negative, maybe it's a limiting belief. A belief, usually most of our challenges with confidence are in our head, right? Almost all of them are made up by us. We might have adopted them and adapted them from other people's thoughts and beliefs and comments toward us, but we're the one that decides that we're going to buy into and believe what other people say about us, right? And when we do that, that negatively impacts our confidence. So maybe pick one of those things and then share one way that you're going to let it go today. Sometimes we just do a meditation on it. I love to do affirmations and meditations. I take what the limiting belief is, and usually it's the opposite of that, because I know that that's a lie, and I tell myself the truth, and I add an I am statement, and that's a quick and easy way to just erase and cancel. Or I say stop, cancel, or I question that belief, and I'm like, well, is that true? Is that really true? Is that always true? Has that always been true? Will that always be true? And usually the answer is no, 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 no. It's not true. And again, sometimes it's valuable to figure out where it came from. Other times, it just doesn't matter, right? And then there's all kinds of NLP techniques we can use, or psychological techniques. There's literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of books on this topic of changing negative thought patterns that are impacting our confidence, etc. All right, I'm rambling. If I can help you in any way, if you've got a question, if you're wondering if this is a good letting go strategy or not, guess what? Whatever works for you and makes you feel better and releases the negative energy of the thing that you're letting go of means it's for you. That's the quick answer to that. But have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Let it go, let it go. It's my granddaughter singing.